Very interesting topic. Lookout circular, LOC, lookout notice. In recent years, LOC has become one of the most powerful tools used by investigating agencies, banks, immigration authorities, and enforcement agencies. Businessmen, directors, promoters, professionals, and even ordinary citizens are increasingly facing travel restrictions due to LOCs. Many people come to know about an LOC only when they are stopped at airport while traveling abroad. So in this video, I'll explain what is a lookout circular, LOC, and what is the difference between LOC and arrest warrant. Who can issue LOC? Whether banks can request for LOC, and what are the rights of citizens under Article 221, Article 21, and latest Supreme Court and High Court judgments, grounds to challenge LOC, and what are the practical remedies available before High Court. Now we'll see what is LOC. What is lookout circular? LOC is an immigration control mechanism through which immigration authorities are alerted regarding a particular individual. Whenever a person against whom LOC is issued is attempted or attempts to leave India or enter India or travel internationally, an immigration authorities immediately alert concerned agency. An LOC may merely provide information or detain the individual or prevent departure from India or hand over the person to police authorities. Is there any specific law for LOC? The answer is, interestingly, there is no separate statute called Lookout Circular Act. There is no such law. LOCs are mainly governed by executive instructions. Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of Home Affairs office memorandums. They'll issue office memorandums and immigration procedures and judicial precedents. See, the Bureau of Immigration under Ministry of Home Affairs implements the LOC system. So authorities who can request LOC, generally LOC may be opened at the request of police authorities, at the request of CBI or Enforcement Directorate ED or SFIO or DRI or Income Tax Department or serious fraud investigation office, customs authorities, and in circumstances, public sector banks. In particular, certain circumstances, banks can request. In financial fraud matters, banks increasingly seek this LOC against willful defaulters, promoters, even guarantors, and directors of borrowing entities. So the purpose of lookout circular, if you see the purpose, to prevent absconding or secure the presence during investigation, monitor international movement, and protect economic interest of the country, India. LOC is preventive in nature. So it is not equivalent to conviction. So what is the difference between LOC and arrest? Arrest warrant, we'll see, no? Arrest warrant. The LOC is a preventive nature. Arrest warrant is a coercive. LOC issued through immigration authorities. Arrest warrant through court. LOC, the objective is restrict or monitor travel. Arrest warrant objective is to arrest. And if you see the criminal case, whether it is mandatory, in the matter of LOC, it is not always mandatory. But in arrest warrant, yes, generally, yes, it is a mandatory. International travel restrictions in LOC, yes. In arrest warrant, it is a consequential. So the legal framework for LOC mainly arises from MHA Office Memorandum dated 27th October 2010. Subsequent amendment in 2017, 2018, and later executive clarifications. So in 2018, the amendment specifically expanded the powers by permitting LOCs in cases affecting economic interest of India, strategic interest, and at large public interest. So this has become a major turning point in banking and corporate fraud matters. And Article 21 and right to travel abroad. Yes, the Supreme Court has consistently held that the right to travel abroad from part of Article 21 of Constitution of India. So therefore, LOC directly affects personal liberty. Hence, LOC cannot be issued arbitrarily. Authorities must specify procedural fairness, legitimate purpose, and proportionately and necessity. So the important judicial principles, LOC cannot be mechanical. Courts held that. Courts have repeatedly held that LOC cannot be issued merely because of money is due. There must be apprehension of absconding, non-cooperation, deliberate evasion, or larger public interest concerns. Another one is reasons must exist. Although LOCs are confidential, courts insist that authorities must possess a valid recorded reasons. Absence of reasons may make LOC vulnerable to challenge. And courts held LOC cannot continue indefinitely. Several high courts have observed LOC cannot remain permanently without periodic review. So long continuation without investigation progress may violate Article 21. I'll explain the important case laws. We know Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India. This is a landmark judgment established that the right to travel abroad is a part of personal liberty under Article 21. So this judgment remains the constitutional foundation for challenges against the arbitrary LOCs. And another case, Sumar Singh Salkan versus Assistant Director. This is one of the most important LOC judgments. Delhi High Court laid down who can issue LOC, circumstances for issuance, and safeguards against the misuse. The court held that LOC should generally be issued when accused is deliberately evading arrest or likely to leave the country to avoid legal proceedings. In another matter, Vikram Sharma versus Union of India, the court emphasized LOC seriously impacts the fundamental rights and therefore requires a strict scrutiny. In another case, Karti P. Chidambaram versus Bureau of Immigration, the court permitted foreign travel subject to conditions and reiterated proportionality the principles. In recent years, LOCs are extensively used in bank frauds, FEMA violations, and PMLA investigations. Even GST frauds, corporate insolvency matters, and SFIO investigations. Promoters and directors of defaulting companies increasingly face LOCs, passport scrutiny, and travel restrictions. Whether banks can seek LOC, this is a question. This is one of the most controversial issues. After 2018, MHA Office Memorandum, public sector banks obtained powers to request LOC in exceptional situations involving large defaults, economic offenses, and public money exposure. However, courts have clarified mere a loan default alone is insufficient. There must be fraud allegation, deliberate siphoning, or flight risk considerations. Whether LOC can be challenged? Answer is yes, LOC can be challenged before Honorable High Court under Article 226. Reliefs may include quashing of LOC or temporary suspension or permission to travel abroad, disclosure of reasons, or modification of conditions. So, what are the practical grounds to challenge LOC? Generally, advocates challenge LOC on the grounds absence of criminal case and no flight risk, cooperation with the investigation, and arbitrary exercise of power, violation of Article 21, and non-application of fine, and even indefinite continuation, disproportionate of restriction. Whenever a client is stopped at airport immigration immediately collect detention memo, immigration communication, and the agency details and travel documents. So urgent writ petition may be moved before Honorable Jurisdictional High Court, especially when business travel or medical emergency, in cases of education or employment employment in abroad is involved. Whether LOC automatically means guilt? Absolutely not. LOC is only a preventive mechanism, not a declaration of guilt. Many LOCs are challenged successfully before courts. We have seen a latest judicial approach from 2025-26. Recent judicial trend shows the balancing between economic security of the nation and fundamental rights of citizens. Courts are increasingly examining proportionality and procedural safeguards and duration of LOC and fairness of restrictions. So the judiciary is attempting to prevent both economic offenders escaping jurisdiction and arbitrary misuse against genuine business persons. So finally, the conclusion is look out circulars, LOCs, have become one of the most significant tools in white collar crime investigations, banking frauds, and economic offense enforcement. However, LOC directly affects personal liberty and right to travel. Courts insist that the power must be exercised cautiously, fairly, and proportionately. So, understanding the legal framework of LOC is now essential in criminal litigation, banking disputes, insolvency matters, and constitutional remedies. Hope you are clear. Thank you. We have two channels, RR Corporates, other channel, RR Legal Talks. Thank you.